Welcome to Overwatch This. This is Jeff from the Overwatch team. Let's have fun today.
Hello and welcome to episode 27 of Overwatch This. I'm your host Phil. With me, as almost always, is Ben.
Hello.
You alright, Ben?
I am. I'm good. How are you,
Jeff
Phil?
Kaplan last week.
I did. Oh, it was nice.
That was nice.
There's
He's
lots
a nice
of
man.
incredibly funny screenshots of me looking like I'm kind of at the altar a little bit. There's one where I'm smiling and I look like a chipmunk. It's brilliant.
It was fun for all. Thank you again to Mr. Kaplan for his time. Stuff's been going on in Overwatch though, which is what we'll be talking about.
Yep, the video game
for the next few minutes, including an uprising of sorts. The conclusion of which just brings a load of skins.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, unsurprisingly, it was a lot of cosmetic stuff, along with a mode and stuff.
So yeah, let's go through what it was and when it happened and what the intention was. Take it away, Ben.
So yeah, it all came out last night. At the usual time. And yeah, there's a load of new skins. I think they're quite nice. Any faves, Phil?
I really liked what we've begun to call Dad Bjorn.
Dad Bjorn.
It's Torbjorn in what looks like a Gearbox t-shirt.
it's the Gearbox t-shirt that really, yeah.
It just looks like a man who's found himself in Overwatch. Like, oh, all right. Make it turret then, I suppose.
It's good have been training to do this. This is nice.
Yeah.
I've kind of come around on that one as well.
Yeah.
Like the McCree one, I think he looks really good.
Really
it's like McCree's best skin by like a mile.
Yeah, probably.
Genji's one's really nice as well. I think they've done a pretty good job on this lot. Bastion's one is just a recolor of the BlizzCon one. You're not happy about that.
He's been shortchanged so badly.
At least it is only an epic. Like they're not saying this is a legendary.
Yeah, there's a reason for it, right? Which is that, as we'll go on to in a minute, like he appears in the PVE mode.
Yeah, in the actual mode.
Part of the event.
Yeah.
But like, come on, it's literally just Bastion but purple.
Unlike Orisa, who now has a gun for a head, which is...
I really
so you're not impressed with this one as well?
Screenshot. She's just Orisa but purple.
Her head is completely different. It's a different shape.
All right.
Well, all right. And then there's also like a bunch of other cosmetics. Obviously, there's Diva's new highlight intro, which might be the best thing they've ever made.
Yeah, so
it's incredible.
She now takes a selfie
with her own exploding mech.
Yeah, at the exact point, which makes me feel about 50 years old when I watch that and go...
Oh, that's what the kids are into these days. Right. So, you know, that's a bonus, making Phil feel old.
Yeah.
And like the Overwatch like old school skins that they've made, despite being relatively simple, they're actually quite detailed, which is what I really like about them.
Yeah.
Like the Tracer one, I think, is the one that people are going to be disappointed in. And I think I think that is actually reasonable. Like it is not as nice as like the McCree one or the Genji one or the Torb ones, but there is a lot of detailing on it.
Yeah.
And it does look really nice when you kind of look into it. Her hat looks great. Her like glasses are like a different shape and that sort of thing. So yeah, those are like relatively simple, but they have these really nice details on them. Like when I first saw the Mercy one in the leaked images and stuff, I thought that was just like, I was like, oh, that can't be a legendary. It doesn't look different enough.
Yeah.
But when you actually see it in game, like the staff is completely different. The guns are completely different. Her hair is like totally different. Like the bits that actually will stick out when you're looking at it, either from first person or when you're looking at the model, are just completely changed.
Yeah.
So those are all the skins and stuff that came out with that. We have a whole video with everything, including all the voice lines and stuff. Don't have all the sprays, but that's because those are a little more difficult to find. There has been a couple of tidbits on the forums about what's going to be coming up next.
Oh yeah.
People were a little bit disappointed that Orisa was getting a skin already when Sombra hasn't had one yet. Jeff Kaplan said that Sombra has a legendary skin in production, but it's going to be a couple of months out.
Couple of months on a skin.
So what I would guess is that the Orisa one was originally like part of her kind of designs for her original legendary skins,
right?
And then they went, oh, hang on, we can use this in this thing that we're making. When they realised like what Uprising was going to be about, because I expect all of that was kind of being developed reasonably the same time. And then he's also spoken that there's going to be 3 Hanzo legendaries that are in production. I would guess that this is going to be like 2 legendaries, and then one of those will have a slight recolor, like they've done with the Torbjorn ones, where the 2 that he's got are like slightly different versions of each other. When those are coming out, he didn't say. I would guess there's going to be, one's quite soon, another one's probably a little further down the line.
Yeah.
It kind of comes down to, again, like how many events we're going to get and that sort of thing, which we've spoken about before.
So finally, some good news for those darlings of the internet, the Hanzo mains.
Yeah, everybody's favourites.
Yeah. Let's talk about the actual mode, though. Quite an exciting PVE thing with some wave survival elements.
Yeah.
It's some Blizzard stuff.
Yeah.
We've seen it before, but it does work really well. It looks like really good fun.
Yeah, it feels like, I mean, they said that when people saw this mode, people were going to realise that they'd been listening to feedback, particularly regarding Junkenstein's Revenge, and it feels like Junkenstein's Revenge in that it is wave survival versus these AI bots that aren't particularly hard to kill, and everyone gets to feel like a big hero. But it's different in that it takes over a much larger map. It kind of uses all of King's Row, which I think is quite smart.
Yeah.
I think they've done quite a good job there of using the assets that they already have to create something. It also takes quite a lot longer to do. Our video of a complete match is about 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
I think if you do it on Legendary, it's probably going to take you longer just because the enemies are harder to kill. A lot of that is based on timers rather than how long it takes to destroy stuff. But it will get more difficult. And they've actually done 2 versions of this. There's the story version where you play as these 4 characters, and it's the retelling of this little bit of plot from the Overwatch history. There's another version where you can play as anybody you like. You can try and break it. You can people are trying to theorize the best comps to put together for that, probably involving Lucio, as most good comps do.
Yeah.
And that's good. And then there's all the different difficulty levels as well. So they've managed to put pack quite a lot of content into that without actually having to do that much work. They're using a map that they already have, but they've put a nice skin on it so it looks different. They're using loads of different models, some of which they already have, but some of them are new. The robots have unique models for them, all the kind of wave of robots that you fight against. So I think it's really, really cool. I think it's not as in-depth as people would like. I'm sure people would love for it to be this whole kind of proper story thing, even for it to be single player rather than co-op. But as a post on the subreddit said, it shows huge potential for what you could do within the Overwatch engine to make this kind of, single player or co-op content that tells a story and tells a narrative.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what they do with it. I think it will be a while until we do. For example, last year we saw them put out 3v3 and 1v1, and they said, we want to expand these. They haven't really gotten around to doing that yet. I think we will see more of this sort of stuff in the future, particularly if it's popular. The servers were in a meltdown last night, so I can only assume that lots and lots of people were interested in playing it. It does seem very popular in terms of the number of views we've seen in our videos and other stuff that we've made. So we'll see more of this. I just expect it's going to be a while before we do.
It does also expose a massive flaw in that strategy, in that the dropship that they send to extract the team of operatives takes about 10 minutes to leave.
Right.
So it's right, you've got the payload, we'll shoot along with the dropship, you'll be out of there. And the payload gets on the dropship and they're right, we need probably 5 minutes to...
just strap it all down. It's safety precautions.
If you could just keep on... No, don't stop. Keep on killing everyone. We'll be a few minutes sorting this out.
They need to fix that.
You've made Arisa. She's got guns everywhere. Get that kid making the dropship. Anyway...
you found some plot holes in this one.
That segues immaculately, as always on this show, into the lore behind the mode. So the whole point, I suppose, of this, other than getting this to all feel like big
damn heroes.
Yeah.
Which I do. I do on a daily basis. Anyway,
yeah. We don't need that sort of boost, but some other people might do. Yeah. Some people who don't play Bastion all the time. The other aspect of it was we can learn a bit more about the I was going to say cinematic universe. Isn't strictly true.
I think they're getting there. I think we'll be there eventually. Yeah.
Difficult for British people to say law because it just sounds the same as a legal law rather than lore.
Is that where it's come from? It's an Americanism that's created this. So there's a load of stuff in there. Yeah. So there's the mode itself, which is all about kind of Tracer's first mission and expanding some of her backstory. And obviously she's kind of the poster girl for the game and very popular within the community. They also managed to create a bit of voiceover for her that doesn't make me want to die inside, which is good. That's really good. Well, keep doing that. Where she gives the intro to the whole thing, and I think honestly they might have taken some feedback on that as well and just told their voice actor to tone it down a little, because now it is just it's very stereotype and it's quite a strong accent, but it isn't grating to my brain. So that's good.
It's a bit less Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins.
Yeah, it's a little less. Oh, it's the 30s. Tip of the hat to you, jolly good morning, etc.
That's how we all speak when no one's around.
Yeah, when we're not doing videos, that's what I sound like. But we need to keep that secret.
Yeah, this is the preserve of British people. That secret.
There's also there's a load of other stuff as well, particularly in the sprays. There's kind of they've used this as an opportunity to tell like a bunch of other little backstories. So there's like a spray of Widowmaker and her husband before she went mad and killed him, which is very sad. So we kind of got to see what he looked like for the first time. We also got to see Farah's father for the first time. A lot of people thought it was Soldier 76. It's not him. It's a...
So should she be called Widowmaker, really?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. And yeah, so there isn't a load of lore in there, not versus like what we maybe seen in the past with different cinematic shorts and stuff. They didn't use this as an opportunity to show another cinematic short, probably because they take a long time to make. But they did, explain a little bit of the universe, and we had the comic and stuff last week as well.
Right. That's not all, though.
No.
There's been some patching going on behind the scenes involving a bit of Lucio tweaking.
Yeah.
Because Lucio was... gone pretty rogue.
Yeah. So they've actually implemented that patch where he was, leaping around like a madman. They have slightly toned down exactly how like fast he could go when he was moving along walls and that sort of thing. But he is now in the game in a pretty similar state. He can do some absolutely crazy stuff, and I'm pretty excited to see, what the pros do with him and how it impacts his potential on that level. The aim of this was to make him less ubiquitous. I get the feeling that has not worked because that's what everybody said when he was on the PTR. Certainly the people that know what they're talking about. This patch also has like all the 1.10 changes. We have a post on the website about it, and we've done videos about it in the past. But it's got like the assault map changes and a couple of other tweaks as well. I think they made Harisa's critical hitbox slightly smaller so she wouldn't die quite as easily. What this does mean is that patch 1.11 will probably pop up on the PVE at some point soon. Ooh. Yeah, I would guess it would be either next week or the week after, and running up to that we'll see the usual blue posts where they go, yeah, we're working on this, and you'll see it soon, and what that means is you'll see it on the PTR next week or whatever. And then that patch I would expect we would get when the event finishes, which is May 1st, so it started yesterday, and it's running until May 1, and then they'll release a patch either then or the week after that will be this patch 1.11. But what actually is in it, we don't really know. I think up till now, with all the patches we've had so far, you could kind of predict what might happen. But with this one, yeah, I think it's up in the air, at least until they start teasing some stuff.
That'll do it for this episode of Overwatch This. Join us next time when we will hopefully be able to tell you a little bit more about patch 1.11. Until next time, you can always subscribe to make sure that you get more lovely episodes like this and all our other game stuff too. We'll catch you next time.